Good afternoon, good late afternoon, wherever you are around the country or around the world. Big welcome to In the Know with Peter No. My name is Peter No. Today is July 5th. It is the next day after 4th of July. So you can see how slow I am because you can all tell that I've partied the whole weekend. So who here partied the whole weekend? Raise your hand. Good, Kate, Heidi, okay. No, Alan, you didn't party all weekend? Oh, man.
Nope.
What?
When you saw the fireworks, watched everybody else drinking, and I had a great time watching people get silly.
Okay, well, thanks for sharing that, Alan, because today we're going to recover a little bit. But since we're recovering, I want to talk about one of my favorite words. It's called leveraging, okay? So before we get there, I just want to say hello to everybody here. I hope you all enjoyed your 4th of July. I hope you enjoyed your Freedom Day. I hope you celebrated with all your family, your friends, and some of you by yourself because we need to, which is a good thing. So I hope everybody just enjoyed. And just to give everybody an update of June, okay, June. Who here had an amazing June? Raise your hand. I know a lot of people did, okay? Everybody did. How do I know? Because the last week of June or the last 2 weeks of June, has everybody seen all the rank advancements, all the volume, all the specials going on? We just finished up. To me, this is my favorite thing. Is just quarters: January, February, March, April, May, June. Okay, we finished up 6 months. So it's going to go right into our topic today, which is going to take pretty much all our whole hour. But it's one of my favorite topics, which again is the word leveraging. Okay, leveraging. So we're gonna talk about a lot of things to leverage, okay, especially going into the last 6 months of the year. But again, if you've grown, if you've learned something in the last 6 months and you've applied it, actually, let me take that back. Who here learned something in the last January, February, March, and applied it in April, May, and June? When you learn that certain things, whether it's something that you wanted to get rid of, whether you wanted to learn a certain more skills, whether you wanted to learn how to peak better, you wanted to learn how to follow up better, you wanted to learn how to maybe understand the comp plan better, you wanted to learn how to invite more people to the podcast. Did you do all that in January, February, and March? You did, right? You started off the year. Now, when you made another commitment in April, May, and June, did you double down on that? Did you do more of that? Carolyn, right, Carolyn? Now, the reason why I'm asking these questions, okay? Just again, think about this. You came into the gym and you never picked up a dumbbell. You've never learned nutrition. You've never learned how to stretch your muscles. And you did it during January, February, and March. It was a good 90-day run. What happened in that first 90 days, everyone? You went uncomfortable. Number one, you made a decision to go to uncomfortable. Number two, you made a commitment, a behavioral change in your mind. And remember, we talked about the BLD. You've learned how to identify what you need to focus on in your build, whether you want to build your brain.
Here we are.
Whether you wanted to build your brain, whether you wanted to build your body more, or whether you wanted to focus to build on your business more. You learn how to identify that. All three, right, Debbie? Good. Now, then when you learn how to identify, you have to learn how to leverage. Okay. Now, let me give you a definition of leverage real quick. There's two definitions. One is called used borrowed capital, for example, an investment, expecting the profits made to be greater than the interest payable. That is called leverage. Or use something to maximize advantage. For example, the organization needs to leverage its key resources. Okay. So to me, the word leveraging is using something else to maximize, or we could break down that definition of leveraging other people's skills, leveraging other people's network, leveraging other people's tools, leveraging other people's time, leveraging other people's testimonials, leveraging other people's compensation plan. Does that make sense, everyone? Okay, we're going to go deep into the word leveraging today. And when do we do leveraging? I like to do leveraging during lunchtime, right? What does my lunchtime look like? Anywhere from 12 to 6, okay? Because it's a whole half moon. Because I can go 12 to 3, which is 3 hours, or 3 to 6, which is like a late lunch. But I'm constantly leveraging, and we're going to talk about what we're leveraging. But when you did that during January, February, March, you've learned these little skills now. Did you apply all that during April, May, and June? Very critical question, because I've been teaching this since day one. I always rinse and repeat. I always adjust and assess every 90 days. This next 90 days, and today we're coming back. I prepared everybody last week already, or the week before, but now we're July 5th. To me, this is go time now. We are now in the playoffs. We're going into the playoffs now, the next 90 days. So remember how I tell everyone, you have to grow, right? I don't know if you're growing month to month, week to week, or day by day. Okay. Now, I always use numbers as a scenario, Okay. Now, 90 days ago, when I started in March, I'm going to give you my numbers. Okay. And I like to talk about numbers, but I don't like to talk about income. So everybody, this is not an income claim. Okay. I'm just giving you numbers. Okay. So starting in April, May, and June, when I started this year off, I was averaging about 7,000 to 9,000 a month, a week. And I'm telling you these numbers. I know I want to grow at least 10% a month. What does 10% a month look like? So on $10,000, it's $1,000 extra, right? 10% of 1,000. That is my goal. So if I applied my system to my goal back in January, right? What is Peter building now? How is Peter building, leveraging, and duplicating his own time to make that happen? And I'm sharing this with you so you can take this now and apply it in the next 90 days, okay? This is all I'm doing. In January, I was averaging about, I think, 7 to 9. February, I went up 10%. March, I went up another 10%. So then by March, now I'm averaging between 10 to 11. So then now March, April, May, March, and then April, May, June. That's another 90 days later. So the reason why I'm telling you this is now, if you look at my income, I'm averaging now 14 to 18,000 now a week. And I'm giving you these high numbers because your numbers might not look like mine. What if you're only averaging from, let's say you want to go from $500 a week to $700 a week? Or what if you want to go from $100 a week to $200 a week, right, Carolyn? What are you doing every day to get your lifestyle and your mindset to understand what I'm doing correlates every day to my goals and to my income? Is everybody with me, right? I'm not losing you, right? The reason why I'm saying this is because as a leader, I'm focusing you on every day just to focus on the things that only matter. I'm trying to get all our schedules into where you're eliminating every day your daily habits. You're eliminating things that is not building you, you cannot leverage, and you cannot duplicate. So in your mindset, you're constantly learning how to purge things out. Does that make sense? And then later, when you learn how to purge things out, you can feel what it feels like to live that free life without that responsibility anymore. And then when you're used to that kind of life in a day, in a week, and in a month, is 30 days quick? Does 30 days go by just like this? It does. But it can go by you doing the same thing over and over again, or it can go by with you applying new things, and then you can see new things over and over again. In my eyes, every month, I see new things constantly because I create new things constantly. But what I don't want to see is the same.
Now I'm like, think about everything, just like thankful.
So what I don't want to see is this like constant, what I call junk, where I'm going backwards in my old habits. Get it? And then I start buying things I don't need, putting, using, just doing things, making commitments I shouldn't make commitments to, saying yes to people I shouldn't say yes to. Get it? I should be practicing saying no to things that are not going to help me into my goals. And if we again adjust and assess every 90 days, are you committed enough to go into the gym like that every day? So since January, February, March, if you've never been to the gym, the first 90 days, was your muscle sore? Yes. Did you have to really get used to living with the soreness? And that's one of the reasons why people quit working out. Do you know? They can't live with the soreness. It's just sore. It's just, it's tough walking around with sore muscles, right? But if you can get over that in the first 90 days, what happens in April, May, and June? Should you be seeing muscles popping up? Right, Carolyn? Should you be going out and buying a new shirt to show off your muscles? Should you be feeling better? And shouldn't your mindset, your daily mornings, your afternoons, your sleep, your energy, the way people talk to you, the way people look at you, your glow, your hair, your skin, don't people notice when you're doing something different? Now, I want each one of you go back to April, May, and June now. Really, really write down and think, what did you grow? Nancy, what has changed for you? Diane, what did you achieve this last 90 days? Pamakai, how many people did you patch, right? How many testimonials did you hear? Destiny, how many people did you fulfill? How many people did you help save money? I want each one of you just go back always and look at what you've done. And that is the only way you can gauge your results. Oh my God, I did this. I did this last month. I talked to this many people this month. I was doing this. And then all you're doing is you're just constantly sharing it with this community, right, Debbie? You're just sharing. You're sharing. Oh, I did this. I got this result. I did this. I did this result. This call right here. I really don't have topics. I'm just sharing you my life and I'm bringing you into my world, because then some of you might need this accountability, right? Or I need you as my accountability. If I don't do these Wednesday calls, then I feel like maybe I'm not touching base and understanding what the heartbeat of my team is. Does that make sense? If I miss this Wednesday call on 1 week, and then I sometimes feel, oh my God, there's something missing, you know? I didn't get to work out with everybody. We didn't get to share each other's muscles this week. We didn't get to, share how we grew or something. Those little things, now I hope you to know, you're ingrained. We've created this ecosystem now, and we all need each other to grow. Do you feel that? Okay, you have to feel that. Now, because we're in a network marketing structure, because and only for you to grow, you have to see people below you grow. But the people below you grow does not mean they might come from you. Let me repeat that again. When people below you grow, they might not have come from you. They might have came from somebody else. That is called what? Leveraging. We leverage the comp plan. For example, I'll use Carolyn and Stephen as an example, right? They came in here just a few months ago, but because of their mentors or their business partners that brought them into the business have a huge network, because the people they brought into the business have a huge network. Somehow, some way, they're all plugging in. Somehow, some way, they're all learning how to define their time together, right? And somehow, some way, they're giving each other their time to build something together, and it's now developing. We're all learning how to leverage each other's network, times, and skills, and applying it and letting Lifewave be the tool to leverage that. Now, for example, Carolyn might not have brought in that superstar or that person, but somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that brought that person in. And now all of a sudden, Carolyn and Stephen are enjoying the fruits of the labor, because they leveraged this comp plan, and they leveraged the technology, and they leveraged our system. And now what if we're all benefiting from this leveraged tool? Does everybody have a question with that? So Carolyn, I'm gonna unmute you. How does it feel? How does it feel, Carolyn, to earn a residual income where you now are here for 6 months and you're applying things exactly what I just said earlier, but now you're physically seeing results like daily? Something is moving daily, and you can feel that in your legs, right? There's something moving.
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yes, it was laying a lot of seeds, talking to a lot of people who just signed up as customers or just wasn't builders. And then all of a sudden, the builders we've been talking to for 3 or 4 months, all of a sudden saw it and signed in, and then brought in their people. So it takes a while to build. We understand that. But at the same time, it didn't stop me from talking to other people, and didn't stop me from getting either customers or distributors. But it's just constantly being positive and touching in base. And I love the fact that we try to help people first before we talk to it about a business. Now, for our business builders that we knew, that was a nice sideline to say, and this is a great way to do the business. But the fact that we start out with just helping someone with a product so it changes their life was powerful. And the fact that we can make money on the side of that is even more powerful.
So you've gone to the gym in the first 90 days, you saw how it works, you start working it, Carolyn, with Stephen the next 90 days, and you see the constant little things and now your business, because we're showing people, we're really focused on teaching them how to build muscles without showing them how to own a gym. And now the same here, we're teaching people how to get healthy without talking about the business. But the side effect of it is you're getting compensated for your time, effort, and energy.
Mhm.
Everyone, again, I'm always just talking about this because it could be easy to get misconstrued into the money part. It could be easily done. But every week I want to come back to this topic is because, again, the next 90 days, everyone, I'm holding your hand. I want you to literally pop your mindset, because in the next 90 days, I want to develop thousands of strong, super-minded people that are going to be rewarded and celebrated at convention, right, Carolyn? So in the last 6 months, just in the last 90 days, Carolyn, if you didn't do, what if you decided you didn't want to go to the gym anymore? Or what if you decided you just went to the gym once a week or something? Would it made a difference today where you are today or what you're seeing?
Tremendously. One benefit would have been if I'd stopped working was that at least I'm using the product, I'm getting healthier. However, the fact that things wouldn't have rolled along as well. So by just doing something like, I love your 333. So just by going back to the basics and constantly doing that, is that someone that you think wouldn't do it are interested now. Things that people that you thought would love this, and they're still thinking about it. It's just not their time yet, but I will follow up with them later. But it's so much fun just to keep going and keep working.
It is. And now I'm going to piggyback this, okay, Carolyn, because we came from the same companies before and we had different ways of working things. Now, I'll give everybody a story. So in my previous companies, every time when there's a holiday, every time I would travel international, I would get excited to go meet new people and develop new relationships. But I would get so discouraged after that trip. Can anybody answer me why? This is why. Oh, Luis wants to answer me why. Tell me why, Luis. I will get discouraged after I come from a business trip, a big convention, and then I come back and I get discouraged.
Because you got a no response.
Correct. That's that one, because I got a no response. What if I got a yes response on my business trips? What else?
They want to think about it and they didn't sign up right away.
That's number two. Okay, so I'm gonna give you another content, but you're right on the point. So I'll tell everybody, I had successful business trips. I go into one market, I come back, we go to conventions, we'll come back. This is why I was discouraged. Because every time I go, I get so hyped up because new business is coming. But the problem is when a new business comes, we never had a system to support their growth when I left that market. Who here feels me on that one? Yes. And then when I leave to support another group, my groups here, they didn't have a system to support themselves. So I constantly was training my old group something, but we didn't have something set in stone. And then I would go develop a new business on a new group, and they was confused as hell. And then both groups are both confused because they get excited here, but then they get discouraged here because I'm not here to hold their hand. Do you now understand why this podcast and everything that we're leveraging is so beautiful, that you can leverage a system? You can leverage other SPDs presenting for you, because now I can go party. I know that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is what? Somebody else would present for me and for you. Somebody else is going to train on Saturday for me if Marcy and I are gone. And guess what, Carolyn, we're never retraining the new thing, right? So we're not constantly creating new things and then trying to teach the old people the new things and then the new people the old. You get it? There is no confusion. This is called perfect leveraging. We're leveraging each other's time. We're leveraging each other's skills. We're leveraging each other's wisdom and each other's commitment. We are here for each other. And that's why you're seeing so many success stories, because again, we have eliminated that confusion and took away the responsibilities, Carolyn. And that's why you and Stephen are just, I can literally know exactly when a new team comes in. I know exactly in 90 days where they should be if they just do these little things every 90 days, every day, or every week. Go ahead, Carolyn.
I have to tell you, Peter, this is the first company we have ever been involved with that had the tools already in place. Before, Stephen and I had to create our own trainings, our own calls, and the fact that we could just walk into a business that was already in place, that had the Zoom calls, that had the steps to go through, that had the tools. Now, we got a beautiful website, but I have to tell you, the startx39now.com beats everything. It's so easy just to send somebody. And I love the fact that someone cannot buy anything on that. I never have to worry that someone's going to sign up under somebody else. So there's no fear there at all. And my people come back and I say, this is a tool you can use. So it's so easy to duplicate for our downline. And within a week, we had a manager develop another manager. So I mean, it can happen that fast.
That, everybody, you heard it from Carolyn. And again, Carolyn is just one of many, okay? Because we're all duplicating each other. But this is like, again, I don't know how to say it, but today's topic is leveraging. I just want you to understand that everything we do, I'm leveraging my phone, okay? We're leveraging the patch. Even the patch, how much time, money, energy is it gonna save you? So everything that you do moving forward from now on, constantly think of the word, how do I leverage this tool? How do I leverage this person? How do I leverage this opportunity? How do I leverage this young mind? How do I leverage this network? Get it? Use that word sparingly, and then it would kind of expand your mind into that thought process, into that mind process, right? So Carolyn, thank you for sharing that also. Now, understanding this, moving forward now, in the next 90 days, everybody, take your time now. We're going into the summertime. Always remember that now. Marcy and I'm shifting our whole system now into, we're gonna clean things up. We gotta make it tight. We just gotta make it simpler a little bit, right? Number one. Now, number two, we're gonna show lifestyles. What is a lifestyle? Destiny's like, yeah, I want a lifestyle. You want to show?
Can you make it easier to join that page? I never can figure it out.
Which one?
You know, it says the team, it's in, I think it's in Start X39.
Oh, you mean the team group pages on Telegram?
No, on our startx39biz.com.
Okay, definitely. Yes, I know exactly what you mean, Destiny.
Yeah.
I already said, it's already in the notes with Marcy, but thank you. So in the next 90 days, I want everyone to kind of today, starting today, what do you really want to build, leverage, and duplicate? How much time this summer, what are you going to give this summer to get there? What is one of your smallest, like your goals, your immediate goals? Who here is a manager? Who wants to be a director? Who is a director? Who wants to be a senior director? Who's an executive director? Who wants to be a presidential director? Okay, Heidi might jump 10 steps already soon. So who wants to be a senior presidential director? Now, again, it's just all of us now getting even tighter in our mind space because we're constantly together now. Does that make sense? We're like thinking together, we're working together, and now what are we leveraging, all of us as a group here together? I know exactly what you're going to learn in the next 90 days again. I know what you will learn. You already learned the basics now here. Now you're going to apply, and now I'm going to teach you how to taproot. I'm going to teach you how to hear wealth stories now. Meaning this next 90 days, Marcy and I are committed to introduce us to you. We're here now going to introduce you to all the brand partners. We're going to introduce to each other. You're going to hear stories now of like Dr. Rhonda. Who is Dr. Rhonda? Who is Alan? Who's Nancy? Who's Heidi? Who's Johnny? Who's Shelly, right? How did they reach this rank? What did they do? And then as you all hear this together once a week, you're going to put the 2 and 2 together like, oh my God, everybody has the same story. Everybody came from a different background. They all have the same health story, the same time story, and the same financial story. And we all have to do the same thing to get to where we need to be. Does that make sense? I want you all to know that we're just constantly connected as one. We're really all doing the same thing during breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but we're just doing it with different environments. You know different people, but people are still people, okay? So I want you all now to look at this. Today we have about 94 people. We're averaging about 100 people every Wednesday. Our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday testimonial podcast is now averaging between 250 to 300 a day. Dr. Stacy's averaging 400 to 500 people on her Tuesday calls now. So today is July 5th. I want all of us to follow each other now. I want all of us to see growth. By next August 5th, can we bring this call to 150 people consistently? By August 5th, in 30 days from now, can our testimonial patching podcast go to 400 to 500 consistently? Why am I asking for this now? Because as we have more people, then everybody's volume will grow. When everybody's volume grows, does that mean we're all making more money? Yes. Does that mean we've all helped more people get healthier? Yes. Does that mean more people are joining our gym, our community? Yes. And from that point on, what happens in September 5th? Can we grow another percentage by then? And then by October 5th, can we grow another percentage? I'm going to hold your hand and I'm going to show you every 30 days what growth looks like. And the one crazy thing about here is that even if you're just here, just to be here and you're not building, we don't care. I want you to be here. I want you to be a cheerleader for us then. I want you to be on the sidelines just cheering, right? Because why? People are people. A patch is a patch. I just want everybody on one patch in the world. When David Schmidt said he wants to be in 1 billion homes, that means he just wants to be in 1 billion families. That's his own mission. It's just families, right? But physically, I want you, even though you might have some skepticism, maybe you might even a little bit. In the next 90 days, I want to shatter that skepticism because I want to show you growth. I want to show you people. Does everybody feel me on that one? Does everybody understand? And then again, once October hits and the convention hits, I want everybody, whether you're at home watching the live stream or whether you're with us at the convention, touching and hugging people real live, by the time that convention ends on October 14th, that Saturday evening, by Sunday, everyone's going home. I want you to all look at each other because we're going to have another call. And I want us to look at each other and go, wow, we worked really hard this last summer. Wow. Did all of us see who graduated this time? Did everybody see their names on the screen? Did everybody accomplish something they never thought they could? Did somebody get healthier in the last 90 days than they are today, than they're going to be in the next 90 days? Get it? I can project that. How nice is it that I can project how Willie and Terry are going to feel and look in the next 90 days? Does that make sense? How nice is it that I know Diane is going to jump another 2 ranks because I already expect it from her, because I know she's going to grow here. I know Frances is going to introduce me to somebody that's going to benefit from this because she's plugging in every day and learning this from our community. Do you know how many sidelines are joining us in California? Do you know everybody's coming to our events because they want to be part of something bigger together? This is not just Team Evolve, everyone. Lifewave is the whole Team Evolve. We're all evolving each other, okay? So today's call is a reset call. We are starting our 90 days starting today. Every week from now, it's going to get really defined now on my calls, and I'm challenging myself, everyone. Myself, okay? I want to structure more better. I want more value on these calls. I want to be more accountable to you and you accountable to me. Okay. I want you all to kind of balance out more, meaning really work less, but define your time more. Does that make sense? Work less, meaning cut more stuff out of your schedules. Okay. This is the perfect time to do it. It's summertime. Cut the things that you don't need out. Make that list. When I'm building my body, what do I want to do? Cut out my carbs, cut out my sugar, right? Go to the gym 1 or 2 days more. If I want to work on my brain, what do I want to read? What do I want to learn? Read 1 or 2 more books. My whole next thing I'm going to learn is I'm going to learn how to dance and sing. So you're going to see me at the Lifewave talent show, okay, in October. So I want to make sure I dance and sing for you all because I'm learning how to dance and sing, and Carrie's going to teach me that, right, Carrie? So yeah, so I'm challenging myself to do that. I'm challenging myself to get a better body. I'm challenging myself to complete my beauty podcast and my wealth podcast. I'm challenging myself to finish up the biz site with Marcy to be the best business site. And that's my only goal in 90 days. Oh, and everybody, I just told you my income. I'm going to show you my income in 90 days. My goal is to make $25,000 a week. I want to get to $25,000 a week, which is $100,000 a month. That is my goal. I don't know what your goal is, but that's my goal, okay? My goal. I'm going to prove to you I'm finishing my goal by living this way. Can I inspire you and influence you to live your goal? Whatever your goal is, in 90 days, I want to see growth. And whether you grew 10%, 50%, some of you might even double your growth, 100%. Meaning, today you could be making 200 a week, And in 90 days, you could be making 400 a week. That's double your growth. Does that make sense? Today, you could be at 150 pounds, and 90 days from today, you could be at 120 pounds. Does that make sense? That is growth, right? So, or today, you can never enroll one person into our program, but you're going to learn the 333 PPP. You're going to learn the podcast. And what if 90 days from now, you enroll 20 people? Those little things are going to compound every 90 days. And again, this is not a hoorah-rah, he-rah-rah team. I am not throwing things out there that is way out of expectation of what our team can or cannot do. Does that make sense, everybody? I am not telling you we're going to produce 100 SPDs. I'm not telling you we're going to produce 100 senior directors here, because that is impossible. If you really logistically look at those numbers, it is impossible to throw those numbers out, because it's like you're telling everybody you're all of us here are going to be bodybuilders in 90 days. And then if you're not, then it's going to discourage you literally discourage you that all of us can't do it. Does that make sense? I'm not going to throw a goal out there where we're all going to fail, okay? That's not how you lead an organization. You can't do those things. And if you hear that stuff, I want you to know it's not true. It cannot happen, okay? We only can hold each other accountable for realistic goals, things that really we can see that we've done it already, and we can gauge those growth, okay? Atomic habits, correct. We have to understand that we're all holding each other accountable for each other's success, and we cannot overhype that, okay? Now, are there gonna be people that are growing faster than others here? Of course, but somebody else's growth here is only gonna pull you up, not discourage you down. Everybody's growth here has to pull you up, okay? So we only have 15 more minutes left on this call. Did everybody feel and understand more than ever a little bit what your goals are for the next 90 days, who you want to leverage, what do you want to build, what do you want to eliminate, what are some of the things that you really want to accomplish this next 90 days? And whatever you do in the next 90 days, I promise you, when you can set up your fall and your winter, okay? Summertime dictates your fall and winter in network marketing. Then your fall and winter is gonna set up your 2024. I guarantee you, if you do your best this summertime to identify 2 key people, and we develop them during fall, and they blow up during winter time, you will have a business that is growing by 2024 to a residual income that will change your life, okay? Your life. Destiny, you're raising your hand.
Develop that. I'm struggling there. I mean, I have, everybody's on monthly, everybody's ordering and wearing patches, but I really haven't found people yet. What do I do, or do I just let it naturally happen?
You have to let it, and we're going to talk about this now. We're going to open up this dialogue now. Destiny, it's okay, because again, you've been here only for a few, you've been here a while. You're learning this gym. You're just reprogramming your frequency of what you're attracting. Does that make sense, everybody? So let all the pressure go. And now I want you to think, I want to attract a builder. I will get customers. I will get people coming to me. That is just my practice to identify. I want you all, like Juliana says, I want you all to become a scout, a talent scout. Write that down. If you have to learn how to become a talent scout, Destiny. Okay? Meaning that, look at all the faces here. If you could recognize behaviors or skills or talents or a person, if you could recognize another Peter No on the street, would you be able to recognize him? Yes or no? Would you be able to recognize a sharp, smart guy that's go-getter or something? Yeah.
Yes.
Then go talk to them. Does that make sense? Everyone, when you recognize someone, go talk to them. And because you talk to them, that just shows you've grown. Because maybe a year ago, you would have never talked to them. But now you know the 333, you know the PPP, now you got the confidence, and now you have a purpose to talk to people. So I want you to raise your frequency, attract a person, Destiny, in the next 90 days. Constantly just say, I want to attract a builder. I want to attract someone like me. I want to attract someone like me or better than me. Just constantly every day say that, okay? They will come to you, you will never know. Okay, so again, it's all good. And you're not the only one, Destiny. I have a lot of people that I personally enrolled that have a huge left leg or a huge right leg, but they don't have their inside leg built because they still are going through that reprogramming phase. I hate to say it that way, but it really is. Okay, so great question. Questions? Who wants to ask anything? Open up.
Peter, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
As we find bodybuilders and we're being talent scouts and they start, but they don't continue, what advice to, we have a bunch of starters, but they're like stalling.
I love that. Hang right there, Jeff. Everybody, did you hear what it said? Jeff thought he had bodybuilders. So Jeff, stay unmuted. So when they came in, they were excited, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, were they excited before they saw when you introduced them to the podcast, to the system, or were they excited after they saw the podcast or the system? Were they excited before or after?
It's hard to know.
Okay, now let's go through it then. Let's just say they were excited before and then they were excited after they saw the system. So they were excited because they saw you working out in the gym. They were excited what gym you were representing. They came to your gym. Now we got to ask, what happened in that gym? Was it you? Was it them? Was it something that you didn't ask? Was there a miscommunication on your commitment? Did you not ask them more deeper questions on what was their why? Why did they want to do this? Or did they only see one podcast or two podcasts, or did they build to managers and all of a sudden they forgot, like they didn't believe in the product? We have to, what happened along the way? Crazy questions, right, everybody? And Jeff, okay, so I'm gonna let you ponder on that one, okay?
Yeah, you're right on it. It's no different than a client.
Correct. So something must have happened along the way. Now, that's why everyone, now do you notice when, Jeff, when you come to me, or when Karen brought you to me, I said, I'm not excited until what, Jeff? I'm not excited until someone builds to a manager. I don't care how they say, Peter, I'm gonna kill this business. I'm gonna be your number one guy. I don't get excited until they become manager. Why? Because to become manager, they had to make me a list. They had to do the 333. They had to get turned down a few times. They had to hear a couple of no's. They had to go through the whole gambit. And then that's telling me they went through the whole gym in 30 days and they're still excited. That means they're gonna start building. Does that make sense? How many of us have quit the gym in the first 30 days? I would say the gym became a multi-billion-dollar industry because they have billions of people that bought a gym membership and never went to the gym. Okay, that's the easiest business we can ever think of. So that is why, Jeff. So we're going to talk about it. I'll coach you privately. Okay. So Diane, what's your question?
Well, no, I was gonna sort of bounce off of Jeff's. I mean, I have a few people that I thought for sure are gonna be bodybuilders, but the issue is, and I'm kind of talking to everybody and to Jeff, is that I know a lot more now, obviously, than the first couple months I was in this. And, you know, I've learned how to say now that this isn't a pill mentality, because people, to your point earlier, oh, I didn't get a result. I don't like this. This doesn't do anything. It's not good. So now I'm making sure that I'm calling like everybody when they get their patches and explaining that this is a long-term thing. This is not going to happen overnight. And you just have to stay engaged with the product. And if they do, then they start telling people. But that it's been a real learning process for sure.
Oh, I'm going to piggyback exactly what Diane said and what Jeff did. Everyone, imagine you're a real estate broker. And then Jeff had a client that wanted to buy a house. Jeff did not know their credit score and their income and what they wanted yet. But then they came into your broker's office, Jeff, and they told you exactly what they wanted, and they got excited. And then until you ran their credit, and then you ran their income, and you did their job verification, and then they were telling you they wanted to buy a $1.5 million home, but they can only afford a $750,000 home. Did everybody understand what happened?
Yes.
Thank you, Margaret. You understood it. Yes. Basically, I want you to think that all your prospects, all of them, they all want to buy a multi-million-dollar home, but they are not qualified yet to buy that home until they come and understand what is required to buy that home. Until then, they're only qualified to buy a $500,000 home, the average home price, not a 1.5 million. Now, if they want to buy a $1.5 million home, they're going to have to come to the gym and learn this so we can up their credit, up their income, up their skills, up their things so they can build a foundation so they can succeed in this business, like buying a $1.5 million home. Man, I'm a genius, man. I should be writing a book on this. That's a perfect analogy. Go ahead, Heidi, and then I'll go to Terry.
Okay. As you know, I've been here for a long time and I keep building. I bring new people on. I even have people who are building. My dilemma is I can't get anyone, and I go check all the time. Did so-and-so, or is she on the call? Is so-and-so on the call? These people don't get on the calls. And then they call me. Where do I mean, how could you not know? I've been working with you for 4 months, 5 months. You're building. I mean, I love them to death. I don't mind. My team is still small enough to give them all the love that they need one-on-one. And I truly, truly care. But why do they not come to the calls? Why?
Again, and that's again, Heidi, is something in the beginning, like the conversation we have to have. Hey, so Lisa, how seriously, we're starting off the business now. Lisa, how serious are you in succeeding, or what do you want out of here? Heidi, I really want to succeed. I can see myself doing this. I need to make an extra 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a month. I love this technology. I already got help. I already got a testimonial on it. I want to see it. Great, Lisa. This is what you got to do. You got to show up here. You got to do this and this and this. A week goes by. 2 weeks goes by, Heidi. We still don't see Lisa on the call, right? Come back again. Hey, Lisa, you told me that you wanted to succeed this. You told me you needed to make this happen. This is what you said. Has things changed in the last 2-3 weeks? Did family get in the way? Did you go on vacation? Did somebody die? Communicate with me. Talk to me. I'm your workout buddy. Everybody, do you see what I'm doing with Heidi? I have these talks constantly, because Heidi, it's just sometimes people tell you things. They tell you they want to build muscles. Again, everybody put that broker or that bodybuilding mindset on. They tell you they want that house, but do they really, can they really afford that payment? They tell you they want to succeed, but are they willing to really give you that time? Everything Heidi here is defined. We know exactly where they need to be. So in the reverse case, they're doing you a favor. They're not wasting your time now, Heidi. But I know the frustration, because you work so hard, you go through the process, but then you're not finding someone that's like you or better than you during that process. And that's your learning curve. That's everybody's learning curve.
Seeing people that I work with and because I look for those that I'm hoping will go to director so I can go to senior director. When I see it, it's exciting to see people on your team on the calls with you. And, I do a pretty good job of keeping myself lifted up, because you guys are my family and I love you, but still, just to see one or even two, that would be so exciting. So keep working, Peter.
I know you will, and you're here. And everybody, again, this is why, as a leader, you cannot make crazy claims and do all this stuff. We're doing this collaboratively, meaning that some person Nancy might have all the success getting people to join, and that's why her environment or her people are different. Carol might be doing a half job, meaning half of her people join, but half of them done, but she still succeeds. And then we might have Heidi where nobody joins, but she's still working her butt off to get people to join. It is a collaborative thing, okay? I'm not using one person's success to mirror all, because it's so variable, it varies. But what I'm trying to say is that as a whole team, we're doing it as an overall. If we overall can get 5, 10, 15, 20 people a day, new people joining the calls as a team, then yes, that's what you need to be, okay? Now, Heidi, all I can say is just keep on doing it, keep on doing it. Everyone, I'm just telling you, you just keep on doing, okay? That muscle will pop. I don't know how else to explain it to you. It will pop one of these days, okay? That person will come in. Carol, I'll call on you, and then we'll call on Willie and Terry, and then Marcus, and then we'll call it a call. Okay, so go ahead, Carol.
So Peter, I do a controversial thing probably, but because you told me that if I wanted to be successful, the most important thing I could do was be on the calls. And I really love the calls, but in the beginning, you had to carve out the time to get on the calls. So what I do, and Peter, I know that you notice who's on the calls, and those are the people that are serious. And those are the people that when they call you, you reach back to them as quickly as possible, because they're trying. So I really feel it's helped my team to know that I write down every day everyone that's on the calls. So I can tell you on this call, we have today, you had 92 people out, and we had 17 of our team members on that call. And that's not a lot, but it's great. And sometimes I have 25 people on the call. So when I can tell who deserves my time, who's really working. And some people say, I don't like you tracking me. Well, I'm sorry. That's what I do. I'm addicted to it. And I think if you all started telling your team that you're noticing and writing down who's on the calls, it gives them an impetus to get on the call, because by God, that witch is writing down who's on the call. So some people might not like it, but I do it for my own knowledge of who is really in the business and who wants to get there. And I know that this will help them.
Just think, like Carol she has a whole high school college system shows up. Whoever ditches class, that's what you get. But if you show up for class for a whole couple semesters, right, Carol?
That's
You're
right.
gonna win.
Exactly.
The coolest kid in high school and college, notice that. They're cool because people want to hang out with them, right? Are you the coolest kid in network marketing? Do people want to hang out with you? If you can do that, you win here. You absolutely win. Terry, Willie, what is your question?
Okay, first of all, Peter, thank you for your consistency and your enthusiasm and your inspirations, and taken a while to actually get into being present with these meetings, because at first it felt very overwhelming. And we became managers almost instantly. I don't even know how it happened. It just, except I was so enthusiastic. But I wanted to build a business, but I didn't know anything about it. Anyway, so we've picked up, fortunately, a really person who is a real business-oriented person. The rest of them, they bite the product, but then they told me they didn't want to build the business. They're still on the product. Now that's been since about November, December last year. My question is, I don't want to push them, and yet I don't know. I've invited them to meetings and they don't come.
Okay.
How to support the possibility of, because I know they all need money. So I know this is a perfect avenue. So how do I support without pushing?
You can't.
Okay.
You just can't. You cannot support. It's not called pushing. You can't support without motivating them. So if they're not motivated by what they see and hear from you, then there's nothing you can do. I'm not, you know what I mean? You can only do that once or twice. You can only do it so much, Terry, but you're not gonna beg someone to become rich.
Well, I think what I feel like I'm up against, and maybe it's not so, but my issues, I mean, I'm 83, and my issues are such complicated issues. I think it's going to take a while before I really get the results. And I absolutely trust it. But I feel like until then, I'm not the model I would like to be with the product, because everybody wants to know, how's it working? Well, I don't have anything specific because I know it's working really deep in my system.
And that's your story, Terry, because who you are, what you're doing today, they might not even look at later. Like they might look at you today and they're on the product because they're looking at you on the product. Get it? But they might not be interested in the business because maybe they're seeing you like, okay, maybe Terry Willie's retired and they're just okay with the business too. So I'll take it okay as a business too, maybe. That's all. But then through your friends, your circle of influence, they might know a son or a daughter that's younger generation that could take this serious because they're like, oh my God, this helped my parents. I might want to represent that because it helped my parents. Get it? Hey, Terry, how does this business work? Hey, Willie, how do you get started? And that will be one day later, okay? Who knows? But I'm just trying to say, because you both are constantly in the gym, you're doing what you have to do. And again, this goes to everybody too. Again, we all have different environments, we have different energies, okay? You just have to do what you do until the right energy attracts to you, like a mothball. And then you can't even stop it, okay? And they'll just go. And then from that point on, that is your story to move on. For example, like Jan Weissar, everybody heard her story. If you have not, Jan could not move. Literally, she had an immune system issue. She couldn't even get out of anything because she couldn't breathe and stuff, right? She couldn't do anything. She had to get well. She had to literally get healthy first all this time. And now because her friends are seeing her healthy, then her friends are at least open-minded to hear. And then when they find deeper what this company is all about, then who knows what they're gonna do. But for now, Jan is just sharing her story. And because her story is so powerful, she's doing her work by getting people on the product. That's the same with Karen. She had a crazy story. It's the same with each one of you. Whoever had a crazy, miraculous story, get it? Your business starts when you're sharing. Now, the business can be broken down in 3 parts, and I'm gonna go through this quick. It doesn't have to be a monetizing part. The business is helping other people, remember that, with the product. Then the financial comes when they wanna learn more. That's always the issue. It's when they wanna go deeper, okay? So, last thing, Marcus, and then we'll call it, maybe normal one. I'll call Marcus first. Go ahead, Marcus.
Well, thank you, Peter. I just want to mention that it's easy for me to go down rabbit trails and not work the system, try and do a little bit more and be everything to everybody. And what that did to me was kind of shut me down. And I think about you, Peter, and thank you for your advice. You know, just go back to the real basics. And I'm working on that. Rebuilding the team sometimes is necessary. I want to congratulate Miriam and Alan being on the call here, for instance. Just continue to build and work on their skill sets. And me, it's going back and just working with the people who really want to work. I don't want to drag anybody. My mindset affects everybody else's mindset. And I'm really just kind of working on that because I think other people who've been in the industry like I have for a while, you can get into what I call manager mode. And that's manager mode is not leadership mode. Manager mode is not business building mode. Managership mode is not visionary mode. And what we have is a visionary, purpose-driven activity that we can participate in. And I just want to say thank you, Peter.
And everybody, Marcus is, I'm very direct with Marcus. I have worked with Marcus for a while. I appreciate you, Marcus, for being transparent and humble and being able to take constructive criticism, right? But
give it to me hard if you need to.
But there's only so many times I can talk to you, Marcus, right? There's only so many times I can tell you, because again, it's just, we all have to internally grow and change, right?
Yep.
A coach can only tell you so many times how to do a sit-up, but if you don't do a sit-up properly, you're gonna hurt yourself. And if you don't do it consistently, you're not gonna make it. So Marcus has to do some very internal changes and he's growing out of it. And again, it all comes with exactly what I just said, everybody. Focus on your 90-day growth. If you're not growing mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, every 90 days, there is something wrong. I am telling you straight up, that is my whole philosophy in life. If you're not growing by 1% or 10% or 50% or 100%, you can do a whole flip. If there's not, it's either not there's something wrong, there's maybe something you're not thinking about, maybe there's something you're not applying, there's something missing, okay? You got to figure that out. Are you not working enough? Are you not talking to enough people? Or are you talking to so many people the wrong way? There can only be so many variables. Does that make sense? Catch yourself. Catch yourself. I catch myself all the time. Did I say this the wrong way? Should I say it this different way? Should I listen to her a little bit longer? Should I ask her a little bit more, couple of questions before I assume what she wanted? Should I ask her more on her schedule? Should I ask her what's her daily lifestyle is? Should I ask her what her responsibility is? Does that make sense? Go in deeper, get into that question, and then they will respect you so much more if you have that open relationship. And that's how you develop that partnership. I'll leave you with this before we go, because we got to go. It's 12 minutes over. Okay. Remember, you're constantly, man, I lost my thought now. So you're just constantly growing, okay? Yeah, I just lost my thought now, but yeah, sorry. So let's do this, because I was just looking at the call. There is no wealth call tonight. Tonight is just Dr. Stacy's call with the Lifewave Connect, okay? Tomorrow we're going back to Dr. Stacy and Marcy for our podcast. This week there is a couple promotions going on, so just check on that on Telegram. Marcy's just posting it all out there, and everybody, we're coming back from a holiday. Get ready for our California event, July 28th. If you know anyone in Orange County, SoCal, bring them to our party. August 19th is our huge event. Did everybody see the flyers on there? Do you know how many SPDs we're gonna have at that event? We're probably even gonna have more. We couldn't put them on a flyer, okay? So that will be our last star-studded event after that. And from there, again, the next 90 days, I'm holding your hand. What a great call today. I hope you all learned something. We evolved our leveraging, okay? So see you tonight, see you tomorrow, and I'm gonna go relax a little bit, and peace out, everybody. Love you all. Bye.
Thank you, Peter.
Bye, Francis. Bye, everyone.